Hello, Star Wars unboxing fans. Welcome to the next installment of the Organizing the Collection of Darth Tuba and the Star Wars Unboxing Show. I'm your host, of course, Darth Tuba. A little shaved, less hair than last time. But I am here, and now we are going to continue moving along with the organization of the collection. We're trying to catalog some of the figures. Now, up until now, the two installments that we've had have been mostly carded figures, okay? Or I should say the first installment was kind of loose figures that were clamshelled into little cases. And the second installment and third installment, I think we're up to 3 now, were basically the carded figures like you see up here that I have in the rafters, okay? Now, those are easy to record, okay? They're all there. I actually, years ago, set these up in release order, the ones that I had that were carded still. I kept them together in release order. So, I mean, that was really not an issue whatsoever. So now, though, if you look behind me, and you can see that we have a lot of shelves here with lots of random hodgepodge, if you will. Okay, these are figures that I've unboxed. Sometimes I unbox them to put them into a diorama. Sometimes I unboxed them just because they were a really cool toy that I wanted to unbox. Okay, and I wanted to have figures on there. Like, you know, I have some Power of the Force figures way over there. You can't see it from here, but in my Death Star space station playset from 1979. So, you know, I have to kind of go through and look and check things out and see where things are. So this is a little bit more of a jarring process. This takes a little bit more time. It's a little more kind of slow on the uptake, so to speak. So, and it takes just a little more, it's more tedious. Okay, so why don't we kind of show you around and some of these, just to give you a few samples. Okay, so now if you have watched previous episodes of Darth Tuba, you'll know that I've done some shelf talks where I kind of just focus on one shelf. And I have done this shelf in the past, okay? This is my lunchbox shelf. As you can see, a lot of my vintage and some newer lunchboxes, or just lunchbox styles, are here. And this is kind of where I try to keep most of my lunchboxes, just to kind of keep, so I know where they all are, okay? But if you look closely, you will see that there are indeed some figures, okay? And these are mostly droids, all right? So we're going to have to kind of take a look-see at these droids. I do believe that many of these droids are Build-A-Droids, the ones that you put together from the Build-A-Droid line of figures. So I have them cataloged as well. So I will have to kind of look these up. Now, what I will do is essentially I will look at a site like JediBusiness.com that has a wonderful checklist kind of variant where you can like look up all droid figures, or look up all Luke Skywalker figures, or you look up all Darth Vader figures. And that narrows things down a little bit. You can filter it out. And, you know, when it comes to droids, it's just easier to look and find and match the exact droid. Of course, this guy, I believe that is the Dark Trooper or the Space Trooper. I always mix those two up. And now that we have a more in-canon universe one from The Mandalorian, this one's more legendary, but still pretty cool. I do believe I ended up having to find it loose because I couldn't find a carded one. So there we go. All right, let's move on over here. Okay, now it looks like, I don't think we have, well, we do have one thing here. Aw, poor guy's taking a little nap. The Bavar Monks. This was a mail-away figure. Yes, this counts as a figure with the brain in the jar. It's kind of gross, sorry. All right, and oh, and there's R2. It's a Power FX R2. Oh, I don't even know if this thing's still working. This is one of those things with little batteries. Oh! Yay, it still works. Awesome. Okay, cool. Beautiful. All right, so good. Then we can kind of move ourselves down here and, oh my goodness, look at all the droids. Now, I do believe that all of these droids you see here are pretty much from the Disney 4-packs or Disney Parks packs of droids. All right, so we'll have to kind of look them up. I'm not going to detail this on the site right now. I just want to say, like, we're going to look them up and try to align them. Now, behind them, you can see we have a few deluxe figures. Oh, Sleeping on the job, dude. What are you doing? We have the Hoth Trooper with the radar dish. We have a laser cannon. I can't remember if the laser cannon actually came with a figure or not. I'll have to look that up. We have Luke with the back to tank. Can you believe this was a figure? Luke in a diaper. Who knew? We have the Stormtrooper or Sand Trooper on the dewback. Okay. And there's the Vader 500th figure. And there's a Stat Battle Droid. And there's, I think, a skiff speeder or something like that. I think that's like an expanded universe thing. Okay? So there's a lot of figures here that I have to try to track down. Okay? Moving on, if you look down here, there's Grievous on his wheel bike. There's a Scout Trooper on looks like a Snow Scout Trooper. Here we have one of the vintage, this is the Imperial, I can't remember the exact name of it. They've released this same toy like 4 times. It was the Land of the Jawas. It was the Imperial, I think it's the Imperial Command Center. And it has a Stormtrooper and a Han Solo figure, so I'm going to have to check those out, okay? Down here, you've got the Cloud Car concept with driver. Oh, I think my heat's about to go on, so pardon the noise. Then you have what looks like the Poe Dameron's speeder, okay? So plenty of things to look at. Now let's look on this side here. And we got a couple of carded ones I got to keep an eye out. Here's the Vader from Celebration. I wonder if it still works. Oh, I can't check it, but maybe I can. I can't tell. I have to open it up. And we got Jocasta Nu. This is actually a comic book pack. Well, not a comic book pack. I'm sorry. No, this is just a deluxe figure. And back there we've got this is one of those comic packs, Visionaries. All right, so I have to record that I have all these. Okay. And then we have some other cute things like this. We have the whole galaxy. This is the Death Star with Vader inside. I'm not going to show them all, but here's Dagobah. There's an Ewok on Endor. There's Tatooine. I think Luke is in there. Oh, look, we also have Jar Jar, the backside of Jar Jar on one of the riding beasts of burden. We have a clone trooper with the firing cannon. I can't remember. I have to look that up to see if the cannon included the figure or not. And then back to kind of full circle with Disney. You have Jedi Mickey and R2MK as in R2 Mickey. Okay, some pretty cool stuff. So I have to set up and record that. Now, if we move up here, here's some more. So you can see we've got a lot of little things we have to try to record. And there we have my partially put together Palatoy Death Star station. And that has a ton of figures. So that's going to take a little bit of time. Now, one of the things, again, I believe the heat's going to be going on. One of the things that I try to do, okay, is I try to keep the figures. I only record a figure if he's complete. I started recording them all no matter what. I put they're either loose, like for example, I don't have an example right here, but in one case I might say that a figure's loose but missing lightsaber, you know, that kind of thing. Now, some might ask, well, why did you do that? And the answer is really simple. You know, I am not being an unboxer. I've always taken some stuff out of the box and always kind of put it on display. Well, many years ago, people who watch the channel know that I have a daughter who is in her mid-20s now. Well, obviously, she was a child at one point, and she would walk into the collection room and see that I had a whole bunch of toys, and she wanted to play with them. And unlike the stereotypical fanboy reactions, like, no, you can't touch these, they're not toys, they're collectibles, I was more like, sure, knock yourself out. But let's pick out a bunch. And I basically took a bin, and I gave her the bin, and I said, what stuff would you like to put in there? Well, she went for most stuff. She went for a lot of creatures. She liked the Ewoks. She liked some of the, the sand people on the Tusken, on the Banthas and the Dewbacks and things of that nature. So I said, sure. So she put it on, taught her to play with her toys, put them back in the box when she was done, and that's what she did. Well, then, that lasted about, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 years, and then she kind of grew out of it and into getting into other things. And I just kind of kept the bin. Well, now I have a bin full of toys that are all mixed and matched, and some are missing weapons, some are missing hoods, some are missing pieces. So I've decided I started trying to record all of them and get them all back together, but for the most part, unless I happen to run into something like that where I can do that, I'm not going to bother. I'm just going to kind of sell them. Maybe I'll do some crafting with those figures or do something different with them. I'll show you one thing that's kind of interesting that kind of came over here. Hang on a second. So here's an example of what I mean by, the hodgepodge. I have found all of these pieces of figures and accessories, and I don't know where they all go to. I believe some of them, I'm pretty sure this is part of the, I'm guessing it's part of the, one of the probably Galoob Hoth things or something of that nature. Like, it looks like a piece of a ship or something. So I have to, maybe I'll try to find that and see what I can do. But, I just kind of spread them out here on the floor, and I'll just keep them out here. And as I'm doing this, if I come across a figure that needs a lightsaber, like I have and one nice thing is I know this is Count Dooku's lightsaber, so if I have a Count Dooku somewhere and he's missing a lightsaber, well, I can set him up with that, okay? But as you can see, there are loose figures everywhere, okay? And I have to try to track them all down. And again, if I track them down and they're complete, all right, I'll record them. If not, no big deal. Look, there's a vintage Chewbacca. I don't know why he's there. So sometimes, again, a lot of this is like I've said, a hodgepodge of things, and it's okay, because it brought our family a lot of joy and a lot of happiness, and I'm totally down with that, okay? I still haven't decided what I want to do with these. At first, I was planning on kind of removing these and taking them apart, and maybe even selling off the displays. As you can see, I showed these on a previous episode. These are Ultrama display units. They're basically just 2 levels of this space, 2 levels, and then the columns to put them together. So I took a few and I painted some of them, all right, as you can see. But you can also see that the sad part about loose display and diorama displays is the fact that, like, look at this. This is very dusty and dirty. And in order to clean it, I'm going to have to take the whole thing apart. Not that I'm against doing that. In fact, at first I was thinking about getting rid of it. And then I thought, maybe I will try to, go on each level, take the level off, take all the figures off, clean everything nice, give everything a bath, do the nice thing, and then reset them on there and see how they look. And then maybe I'll also redo the shelf organization here. Because as you can see, the poor Geonosis down there, you can't even see it. It's so low, So maybe I'll put, Hoth down on the bottom and work everything else. But in the meantime, that's kind of a nice, easy way for me to record every level. Because I do like these. Some of them I think are too big. Like this one, this is also Geonosis, but the poor Acklay is taking up so much space, So I don't know. We'll have to see. And plus I have these, I just use Fun Tack to kind of keep the figures standing up. Because, eventually weight shifts and plastic, adjusts a little bit. So it's always a little bit strange. So we'll decide how we want to handle that. So one last thing that I mentioned earlier is that I am in the process of trying to consolidate and maybe remove a few items, which I know that some people are like, no, don't do that. But I really do feel that it is necessary, folks, because the reality of it is I am out of space. You've seen the collection, you've seen the space. I don't have like 4 or 5 spare rooms in the house waiting to have shelves be built, And I'm starting to think about my future and where I want to be and how things are going to work with my family and things that have nothing to do with Star Wars collecting, but that I have to, take into account. Okay, so it's for that reason that a few things are going to have to go. Case in point, Angry Birds, Star Wars. Remember when Okay, I'm going to just say this. Now, I have nothing against Angry Birds. Really don't. But can all of us people, particularly people that are at my age, in the 40s and 50s, can they remember a time when this was the Star Wars we were getting? This is it. Like, I hear a lot of people complain about, I didn't like what Ryan Johnson did with The Last Jedi. I didn't like what J.J. Abrams did with Force Awakens or with The Rise of Skywalker. There's always this drama. Can I not remind everybody that there was a time when this was stuff we got excited about. We went to stores to buy this. Okay? Now, app available September 19, 2013. So you're talking 8 years ago. Okay? It was a different time. I totally get it. But this is no longer something I want to have in the collection. So it's going. Now, another thing. Let's talk about this. This is a Trade Federation Battleship yo-yo. Now, I will be honest with you. I enjoyed the Tiger Electronics deal. There was a lot of cool stuff that they came out with. Okay? And it was fine, and I had no problem with it. But this is something that I feel is taking up real estate. Okay? It's taking up real estate, and it's a yo-yo. And I'm not a yo-yo collector. Okay? I'm a toy collector, even though, yes, yo-yos are toys, but I'm not an every toy collector. Okay, so that too will go. What else we got here? Now, there are some things that... Let's talk about this little guy, this little dude. Episode 1 candy. Now, food products, I have always been a little bit more, hesitant on. And again, and I did break my own rule. I've said on constant occasions, do not save food, okay? So why I still have this, I don't know. I think it got stuck in the back there, and that was it. So honestly, I think I'm gonna let this one go as well. Okay, again, I have so many of the Star Wars Episode 1 packaging that I don't really need anymore. And with that, we've got this. This is a lightsaber. I don't even know if I'm gonna sell this. I think this is actually candy. It's actually a lightsaber. Obi-Wan Kenobi lightsaber pop. I don't even know. Can I open this? Nope. It is completely fused. And you know what? I don't even think I'm going to bother. It's out. I'm pretty sure that none of these are going to be worth anything. You know what I mean, folks? So, now, having said that, here's some things that I'm going to hold on to. What is this? Well, believe it or not, this was a Episode 1 Pepsi Can Holder, which I think is pretty cool looking. And I do believe it was a mail away, and it might have actually been from China. Like, I don't even think it's, oops, sorry. I don't even think it's from this country. So that's a little bit more unique, okay? This is a kind of an unlicensed item. This is one of those, it's supposed to like an extra large Lego minifigure, but it's called like, I forget what they call it. It's like brick face or something like that. So keep that. This is a model, a wind-up model. So I'm going to hold on to that. I did that myself. It doesn't have a lot of value. And I think one more thing it's going to go. It's going to knock over all my droids here. But this is another Tiger Electronics game. I mean, it's cool. It's the Destroyer droid. And I do think it had a thing where you press a button and it kind of unfolded a little bit. Pretty cool, but not something I'm keeping, okay? For the moment, I think I'll leave everything else here. Okay, as I said, I'll record the droids and I'll reset them. Of course, this is my, oops, sorry, it's my nice Pez dispenser, which I actually enjoy. Yeah, I don't think it's working at the moment. Okay, so as you can see, there are a few things that are not going to survive, okay? Other things might. And, maybe I'll go through this again in about 5 years. And we'll see what else we have, okay? Here's another one that's a figure. It's Luke and... This is Luke and Vader. I am your Father's Day. Father's Day card. Okay, kind of cool. Something different. These are probably just repacks, but that's why I kept some of these in here. So we will definitely hold on to that. All right. So as you can see, okay, there has been, there's a lot to do here. And as I said, I only show you about 10%, 15% of what's going on. And everything I just showed you, all those loose figures, that's going to take me hours to track all those down. You know, I just kind of set myself up here and I play some music and I just kind of go do a search. And sometimes I don't come up successful. Sometimes I just can't find certain figures. I mean, even places as great as rebelscum.com and JediTempleArchives.com and JediBusiness.com, all great sites. I highly recommend them if you're looking for, you know, just trying to track down or get checklists made up for figures. Even those sites sometimes miss, okay? They sometimes miss one or two. So I don't worry too much about it. I'm not sweating the small stuff. As I said, I've got ideas, like I've mentioned on previous episodes. I've gotten into making ornaments. I've gotten into making, you've seen me make figure wreaths. I mean, this is definitely something that certain figures could go into that kind of category. I have dioramas that I was going to get rid of, and now I'm thinking maybe I'll keep them around a little while longer, and you know, we'll just kind of play along with it and see what we can come up with. So that's the plan. All right, so I'll give you some more updates as we go. But you know, as I said, I got my work cut out for me. A lot of things to try to track down here, and you know, and I'll continue to go through and see if there are any items that I no longer want, and I will actually present some of those ideas and some of those things to you on the channel, because I will say this: if you see something that happens to be, as I said, I'm keeping pretty much for now all of the action figures, all of the Black Series, Hasbro, Kenner, play sets, vehicles. They're pretty much all hanging around. Okay, I don't plan on getting rid of them just yet. Okay, those are, you know, I'm still a collector. There's still items coming in, so I'm going to continue with that. But if you see something, if you're into yo-yos and you never saw that Trade Federation yo-yo and you think, oh, that might be kind of cool, you know, shoot me a message on, you know, you can actually either go, you know, leave a comment, or you can email me directly. It's always at the end of the episode, darthtuba77@gmail.com, and let me know if there's something you'd like. Maybe you can make me an offer, at least some. I mean, I'm not looking to make tons and tons of money on it, but I would like to, you know, not have to spend money to ship it. So, you know, let me know, and maybe we can work something out, okay? But otherwise, it'll probably go into the flea market bin or the garage sale bin or that kind of thing, and that's the plan. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll keep giving you updates. Be sure to check out my videos Wednesdays and Sundays. I'm actually thinking about making Sundays a live stream day for, you know, here and there. So keep your eyes open for that. If you want to get notified about that, why don't you make sure you subscribe, and I'll create a post, or you can check me out on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll try to put stuff out there as well. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, may the Force and the toys be with you.